Hey, thanks for watching, my friend. This video, I want to talk about something I was into for a very long time and I'm still interested in, but in a very different way, which is manifestation and the law of attraction. I want to tell you a little bit about that from the perspective I have now on that. And I think in manifestation, first of all, there's this idea that you can manifest anything, right? And in theory, everything is energy, so everything is possible in creation, you could say. We are part of creation, and so we are source, we could also say, if we're non-dually looking at things, that there's this oneness, this emptiness, this fullness that is creating everything. Everything is part of that. So all creation is that. Everything we see, the everything, the God aspect is energy, is something that is being created moment to moment. In that sense, why not? Why would it not be possible for manifestation? I think a lot of people start out with wanting better circumstances, right? Which is a personal development idea. You want to improve the ego's experience or the person's experience, which is totally fine. I mean, there's a preference here for me, you could say. It feels strange to talk about a me, but there's a preference for this to be in good circumstances, and of course that makes sense. So manifestation a couple of years ago, let's say 10 years ago, is something that I was really interested in. And I think one of the ways they tell you to look at that is that you set certain goals, for example, and then you start visualizing that and you start working on your emotion, like feeling positive when you think about that goal. And that works in several ways. One way it works is that it gets you to focus on ways to realize that opportunity. So that's one. I think the second thing in which it works is especially the elevated emotions. So getting elevated emotions and associating it like it's already here, like feeling that it's already here. And that, since we have a quantum reality, means that everything that is here is also attracting, or that's the idea, it's attracting those circumstances. But the thing is actually that what we attract is, or what we actually see in the world, is that which we resonate with automatically. So when we resonate with something, let's say love, we tend to attract loving circumstances and loving people into our lives. So we kind of see in our reality, since it's a projection of the brain as well, everything we see and notice is a creation of the brain actually, because it's the brain translating energy into imagery. So in that way, and again, I'm not a scientist, but I'm just experientially sharing how I have experienced manifestation, is that we can attract certain specific type of circumstances. But through these elevated emotions, there are also teachers that say, for example, I've been following Abraham Hicks for a while. I haven't seen any recent stuff, but I've watched that a lot in the past. And actually it's very close to non-dual reality, because Abraham Hicks also shares that, basically encourages us to let go of specific goals. Because in general, we want to feel good, for example. We want to be wealthy, be healthy, etc. And when we focus on specific goals, we actually say to the universe, this is what we want. And it makes it more difficult to realize that than if it's just the fastest, most easy way to become aligned with that which we already feel. Could be wealth, health, etc. If we say we want to do that, for example, we want to be healthy through running, then we have less opportunities, or the universe has less opportunities to attract it into our life than when we say we want to do it through sports, which is more general. So when we let go of any goal or idea, but just focus on the elevated emotions in our life or in how we feel, which is also, I think, part of what Joe Dispenza is talking about. So he has talked about specific goals, but he's moving more towards, you could say, the more non-dual perspective, or the perspective of general well-being, where you focus on these elevated emotions in, for example, a meditation, and then with that elevated emotions, you get more nice circumstances in your life, because you're attracting and you're actually getting used to training yourself in these positive emotions. So then when we look at the spiritual work, which I've been doing, let's say, over the past 10 years, is that what I actually did was I looked at what is here, what is creating my suffering in this moment. And I realized basically it was mostly all these beliefs and sometimes some densities in the body, some trapped emotions or energies or feelings that I could focus on, that I could be with. And with doing that and with lovingly being with those, they let go, right? So this work, I think, is very close to that. And what I remember from, for example, Bob Proctor's work is that he's saying in his book, in one of the books I read, he talks about that you set a certain goal, but then you trust the universe to provide that, right? So when we go one step further even, instead of doing spiritual work, which works in the same way, because doing that spiritual work, or looking at our false beliefs, you could say, because any belief is false in a way, we automatically make our daily lives and ourselves a lot more positive and a lot more loving and a lot more in our frequency. We up ourselves, you could say, we upgrade ourselves, our frequency, without doing any specific goals or working with specific emotions. We in general create more general well-being, which attracts more general well-being. And then we can take it even one step further, which is basically letting go of not only the universe providing the circumstances, but also the work to get there, which means we trust fully in the universe and ourselves, because ourselves and the universe are one, non-dually, right? We are the universe, we are part of the universe. Actually, there's no me to be part of the universe, right? There's only this. When we then trust fully that this is just the right experience for us, and it is, because there is no other experience, right? There is no other option for you. There's just this. There's no free will, you could say, and yet it's interesting to learn about all these techniques and ideas. So when we trust fully and we go from doing to being, where we're either unconsciously doing all this stuff through our mind, through our ideas, or we're consciously doing all this stuff, both is a sort of management which has a sort of scarcity vibe to it. Like we need to control life, we need to manipulate it to get the best out of life. Well, actually, life is already perfect. It's already really amazing. So when we even let go of that conscious doing and we start to be consciously, right? So everything that comes up, we're conscious of it and we let it be. And through that letting be, the things that want to go will go, and the things that maybe want some attention or want to be lived out or that want to be with us can be with us. And that loving presence with life, that even creates more positive manifestation in your life. And in the end, you can ask any rich person, it's not the money which makes you happy. The money is sort of something, or the circumstances is something. If you have terrible circumstances, then getting that will make you more neutral. Basically, getting, let's say, having the terrible circumstances and then that being fixed in a way, that of course helps. But it helps you get from, let's say, minus 15 to 0. But it doesn't help you to get to plus 15. And what helps you to get to plus 15 is actually more of this letting go. So, interesting enough, we maybe start this journey with having a specific goal for manifestation. But in the end, we start to realize that we can trust not only the universe maybe to provide the stuff we want, let's say, but that we can also trust the universe in general. And that we can trust it so much that we don't even need a practice. And of course, this is something we tap into like over time, but we don't even need anything. That can be scary at the beginning, but if you've been on this journey for a long time, then actually your practice or the idea of needing to practice can get into the way. Because we actually need nothing. We are the universe. We are this undying being, endless. And that is so endless that it has created specific consciousness in a specific body with specific memory that is doing a specific journey, that is having a specific experience. So amazing, so interesting. And that's something to be very grateful for, that we as this unbound consciousness is experiencing or can experience the boundaries of the physical body, the human body. So if you have any questions about manifestation, then I would say try to let go of achieving things in a specific way. Try to let go of getting what you want. But let the universe provide the best life for you by having more openness and not trying to hold on to anything, because that's creating craving, that's creating suffering, that's creating pain. And that's not what we want. Love is openness. Love is relaxation. Love is accepting ourselves and our circumstances, how they are. And they might not be optimal right now, that's okay. We don't have to judge them. It's just a fact. But we can try to trust that this is teaching us something. This is doing something for us. Life is happening for us. And not for some specific being, right? Not per se for a me, but for itself. It's teaching itself. There are two lovely ideas of why we are alive, and that's karma and dharma. So karma in a way is like our stuff from the past or stuff we've created, the mess we've created. And part of why we're alive is just to clean up the mess, right? And that happens automatically when we look inward and start this journey. And we can let go of how it wants to happen, but because it automatically wants to happen. And then the other thing is the dharma, is the reason we're here, is maybe it's mostly karma for you, maybe it's mostly dharma for you. But dharma means your path, as in a specific role you have to play in life. As in a specific task that there's for you. And often this is something you can see even in young age, that, for example, somebody is really caring and they're meant to care for other people. Or somebody like me likes to talk. They're meant to talk to people. And there's other people that have specific interests at very young age. And that's often very much related to our Dharma. So with that, allow yourself to be who you are, my friend. And that happens automatically when we open up. I love you and have a great day. Bye.